Your phone can jump from almost dead to halfway charged surprisingly fast. But somewhere near the top, that same fast charger suddenly seems to slow to a crawl. Your charger didn't suddenly become weaker. Your phone deliberately tells it to slow down. But why? Inside your phone is a lithium-ion battery, made from several layers that move lithium ions back and forth as the battery charges. When the battery is relatively low, its charging system can safely allow a high, controlled current to flow into the cell. That current drives lithium ions toward the battery's graphite anode, where they are stored during charging. This is the part that feels like fast charging. A lot of energy can be pushed into the battery in a relatively short time. But as the battery fills, something important changes. Its voltage keeps rising. And eventually, the cell approaches the maximum voltage its charging system is designed to allow. Here's the part that confuses people. Battery percentage and voltage are not the same thing. A battery can still have capacity left to add, while its voltage is already approaching its upper limit. So imagine filling a cup with water. At first, you can pour quickly. There's plenty of room. But when the water gets close to the rim, you can't keep pouring at the same speed. One tiny mistake, and you spill over the edge. A lithium-ion battery isn't literally a cup, but the idea is similar. As the cell approaches its voltage limit, the charging system has to become much more careful. Early in the charging process, the system can operate in what's called the constant current phase. The charging circuitry allows a relatively high, controlled current to flow while the battery voltage rises. But as the cell approaches its voltage ceiling, the charger can't simply keep increasing the voltage to force more current through. Instead, the system enters the constant voltage phase. The voltage is held around its upper limit, while the charging current gradually drops. And that's the moment your fast charging starts looking much slower. The battery isn't refusing energy. The charging system is carefully limiting the rate. So why not ignore the slowdown and keep blasting the battery with maximum current? Because charging a lithium-ion battery isn't just about getting energy inside as quickly as possible. Heat and chemical stress matter too. Higher charging currents can increase heat and stress inside the cell. And under inappropriate conditions, especially when charging very aggressively at low temperatures, lithium plating can become a serious degradation risk. Instead of lithium being stored properly inside the graphite structure, metallic lithium can build up on the anode surface. That's one reason charging systems carefully control current, temperature, and voltage. And this explains something you've probably noticed. The difference between 50% and 60% can feel almost invisible, but the difference between 90% and 100% can feel painfully slow. That's because the battery is much closer to its voltage ceiling near the top of the charge. The charging system keeps reducing current as the battery approaches full. So even though the battery percentage is still climbing, the amount of power entering it per second can become much smaller. And that's why the final portion can take disproportionately longer than the beginning. Modern phones can take this even further, with software and battery management features. Some phones can deliberately hold charging around 80% when you leave them plugged in for long periods. The goal is to reduce the time the battery spends at a very high state of charge, which can help limit long-term battery aging. So when your phone suddenly slows down near 80%, don't blame the charger. It's your phone protecting a chemical battery from being pushed too hard near the top. Fast charging isn't supposed to be fast all the way to 100%. The slowdown is part of the design. Now you know how fast charging works. What if you have no wall charger? Click right here to see how to power your phone using alternative methods.